Wishing you all a very happy new year 2023. We want to start the year in gratitude and thank you all for making Maitri global. Today, Maitri is being watched in more than 35 countries, and it makes us so proud to know that we are helping shape so many minds and we are helping so many women. New Year is all about new beginnings, and so we wanted to start with something very special and magical, talking about the beginning of life, the pregnancy, in a fun, easy, creative, and yet educative way. We have created a special animation video in which you can visualize your baby growing inside you week by week from the time you conceive your baby till you deliver. From the baby's heartbeat to the first scan to the first kick, this video will be by your side, teaching you as you move ahead in this journey. So go ahead, enjoy and watch the magic happening in your body. By now, you know that we doctors love to talk about pregnancy in weeks. Week 1. You are officially not pregnant, but your journey to pregnancy has already begun. Few hormones released from your brain stimulate a bunch of eggs to start growing, but only one budding egg gets selected and it gets bigger day by day. Week 2. This lucky egg is now growing steadily and is producing a hormone called estrogen, which is making the bed ready in the uterus for the implantation. By day 14 in a 28-day cycle, a big event takes place called ovulation. The egg is released and is then picked up by the fallopian tube and it starts to move towards the uterus. Week 3. If the intercourse takes place around this time, the sperms are deposited in the vagina. The sperms start racing towards the uterus and the tubes, desperately looking for the egg. And the lucky sperm hits the jackpot and fertilizes the egg, officially marking the beginning of pregnancy. The fertilized egg undergoes repeated cell divisions and keep moving towards the uterus, ready to implant in the uterus. Week 4. The embryo implants into the uterus and starts to develop its own blood supply. It forms 3 layers which ultimately would develop into the different organ systems of the body. Any guess what's the size of the baby now? The size of just a poppy seed. Week 5. You missed your period and you do a pregnancy test and you see the 2 magical lines on the pregnancy test. Wow! The amniotic fluid, placenta, the umbilical cord and the baby's organ systems have started developing. The nervous system and the circulatory system, including the baby's heart, are the first to develop. The size of the baby? Just the size of a sesame seed. The baby resembles a tadpole at this point. Week 6. Your baby's face is taking shape with cheeks, chin and jaws beginning to form. Tiny little swellings called the limb buds are appearing, which will develop into arms and legs of the child. There is a thin layer of see-through skin covering the baby. The size of the baby? Of a size of pea only. Week 7. Baby's brain is rapidly growing. Its growth rate is faster than the rest of the baby's body. Limb buds are forming cartilages. By now, baby has developed web-like hands and feet. The size of the baby? Like a blueberry. Week 8. Your baby is growing at a rate of a millimeter per day. The lips, nose and eyelids are forming. Even though you can't yet feel it, the baby's tiny body and limbs are now making tiny spontaneous movements. Baby size? Like a kidney bean or a raspberry. Week 9. This week, the baby starts to look more human. The tail is gone, the toes are visible, the ears are visible, and the baby's heart, brain, kidney, liver and lungs have begun to develop. Size of the baby? Like that of an olive. Week 10. You are now in month 3 of your pregnancy and your baby is now called the fetus. Bones and cartilages are forming, knees and ankles are showing up, arms complete with elbows can flex already. The teeny tooth buds are now developing under the gums. Eyes now react to light, baby size like that of a strawberry. Week 11. Wow, your baby's head accounts for about half of the baby's length. Webbed hands and feet are gone and your little one's fingers and toes are separating and looking like real baby parts. Fingernails and toenail beds are also beginning to develop. Baby size like that of a large strawberry. Week 12. This is a big week for your baby. Did you go for your nuchal scan for screening for Down syndrome? The baby's pituitary gland has started making the hormones. The bone marrow has started making the white blood cells in the baby. Size of the baby? Of the size of a lime. Week 13. The baby can now produce urine on its own. The baby pees in the amniotic fluid from where the placenta absorbs it and excretes it via the maternal blood. Your baby now has exquisite fingerprints and is about 3 inches long, size of a small peach. Week 14. Are you making faces at me? Your baby can smile, get angry and give many expressions. Boy or a girl? This week the baby's genitals are now obvious. However, that still may be hard to detect on an ultrasound. The size of the baby? Like that of a kiwi. Week 15. Your baby is now sporting good hair on the head, eyebrows and its body is starting to cover itself in a fine layer of hair called lanigo hair. It keeps the baby's body warm. Your baby can now sense light and is forming taste buds too. Size of the baby? Now like an apple. Week 16. Your baby's skeleton is starting to ossify, which means if an X-ray was taken today, the baby's skeleton would be visible. Your baby's eyes are making small side-to-side movements and can perceive light, even though they are still closed. Size of the baby, like that of an avocado. Week 17. Your baby is practicing sucking and swallowing as she gets ready for the real thing, a breast or the bottle. Baby will soon be able to hear you. Her ears are almost formed and soon she will be able to hear your voice. Baby size like that of a pear. Week 18. Having a girl? The fallopian tubes and the uterus are now in proper position. A boy? The genitals may be visible on your next ultrasound. The baby also has its unique fingerprints now. The baby can yawn and you might be able to catch that adorable yawn on your next pregnancy scan. Baby size like that of a capsicum. Week 19. The baby gets covered in a greasy cheese-like coating called vernix caseosa. This helps protect your baby's delicate skin from abrasions, chapping and hardening that can result from exposure to amniotic fluid. The baby's size like that of a mango. Week 20. You are already halfway through your pregnancy. You may be able to feel the baby move for the first time this week. But do not panic if you don't. You will soon. Have you got an anomaly scan done till now? Size of the baby like that of a banana. Week 21. If you are carrying a girl, your baby's uterus and vaginal canal is fully formed this week. Your little girl also has primitive eggs in tiny ovaries, about 7 million of them. By birth, that number will be down to 1 or 2 million only. And if you are carrying a boy, the testicles are beginning to descend now, though they are still in the abdomen waiting for the scrotum to finish growing so that they have a place to go there in few weeks. Baby size like that of a carrot. Week 22. The baby has taste buds now and is sucking its thumb adorably. Though baby's eyes are still closed, your baby can perceive light and dark now. Shine a flashlight on your tummy and see your cutie pie move. Baby size like a small papaya. Week 23. The baby is learning the coordinated movements like holding its nose, ears or the umbilical cord. Do you know the babies love to play inside? She can also hear your voice, your heartbeat, your gurgling stomach and the whoosh whoosh of blood circulating through your body. The size of the baby like a big carrot. Week 24. The baby is putting on more and more weight. The baby's hearing apparatus is rapidly advancing, which means if she frequently hears a certain song now, she is likely to recognize it and feel calmed by it when she is born. Do you know the baby is having white eyelashes, eyebrows and hair till now? It has not acquired a pigment called melanin till now. Baby's size like a corn cob. Week 25. The baby's nostrils are starting to form this week. This allows your little one to begin taking practice breaths. The baby's lungs are producing surfactant, a substance which will help them expand with oxygen after the baby is born. The size of the baby like a small cauliflower. Week 26. Look who is looking. It's your baby. Those little eyes which have been closed for the past few months so that the retina, the part of the eye which allows the images to come into focus, could develop. Now they are opening up at 26 weeks pregnancy. The baby has developed beautiful eyelashes too at this time. The baby's size like that of a lettuce. Week 27. It's the last week of the second trimester. Your baby can now recognize both you and your partner's voices, though the sounds she hears may be muffled because of the creamy coating of the vernix covering them. Do you know even babies inside can have hiccups? Guess why? They feel like light rhythmic taps to you and aren't uncomfortable for the baby either. Size of the baby about 800 to 900 grams. Week 28. It's the official start of the third trimester. Congratulations! The baby can now blink and even dream. Your baby begins to perceive REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, which means it's very likely that your little one is dreaming inside. Fetuses often stick out their tongues at this time. No one is sure exactly why, but it's possible that your baby is tasting your amniotic fluid. The size of the baby like that of an eggplant. Week 29. Your baby may begin to smile this week, especially in his sleep. And if you are lucky, you might catch this on the ultrasound. Size of the baby? About 15 to 16 inches. Week 30. The surface of your baby's brain begins to wrinkle now. The wrinkles are called convolutions so that it can hold more brain cells. Now that your baby's brain and new fat cells are regulating the body's temperature, the lanugo hair, those soft downy hair covering your little baby's body, are now beginning to disappear. The size of the baby? About 1.5 kg. Week 31. The baby is more active than ever, peddling his feet, sucking his thumb and practicing other important skills for the real world. Your baby's brain connections are developing at a rapid pace. Size of the baby? About 1.6 kg. Week 32. Baby's external and internal features are more or less fully matured, but the bones still need to harden more and the lungs are a bit immature still. Baby is actively moving, kicking, sucking and swallowing, actively gaining weight, almost 20 to 25 grams per day. Baby size 1.6 to 1.7 kg. Week 33. It's a miniature adult inside. Baby is actively drinking amniotic fluid, preparing its intestines for the food after birth, actively opening its eyes when awake, trying to see things inside. The baby has a sleep and awake cycle now. The baby's immune system is maturing inside, making antibodies, preparing it for the outside world. Size of the baby? Roughly 1.8 to 2 kgs. Week 34. You are now in the 8th month of pregnancy. The baby is developing a thick, waxy, cheesy coating on its body called vernix, putting on weight very fast. If your baby is a boy, then this week the testicles are descending from the abdomen into the scrotum. Size of the baby, roughly 2.2 kg. Week 35. With less space in your uterus now, your baby's movements have shifted from kicks and punches to rolls and wiggles. It's practicing sucking motion as it needs to latch onto the mother's breast soon. By this week, most of the babies have positioned themselves head down for delivery. Size of the week, roughly 2.4 to 2.5 kgs. Week 36. The baby's first poop is forming inside. This is called meconium. It's sterile and your baby won't release it until after birth unless there is any sort of fetal distress. The color of this poop is dark green and it is made up of dead cells. Size of the baby, roughly 2.7 to 2.8 kg. Week 37. Your baby looks more like an infant this week with chubby little legs and pink tinted skin. Your baby's ears are extra sharp during these last few weeks. She may even recognize your voice and favorite songs after birth. Has your baby dropped into the pelvis? Size of the baby, 2.8 to roughly 3 kgs. Week 38. Your baby's skull bones are not yet fused together so that the head can relatively easily maneuver through the birth canal. Most of her bones and cartilages also are quite soft as well, allowing for an easier journey into the world during delivery. But don't worry, they will harden over the first few years of her life. Size of the baby? About 3 to 3.2 kgs. Week 39. The baby is officially called full term now. The baby's brain is growing at a super speed. It's already 30% bigger than it was just about 4 weeks ago, and it will continue to grow at this pace for the first 3 years of its life. Your baby's skin has now finally changed from the pink tinted to white due to a thick layer of fat developed under the skin. Size roughly 3.2 to 3.5 kgs. Week 40. You are at the official end of your pregnancy. The baby is fully mature and is waiting to come into the world. Bags are packed to go to the hospital, the nursery at home is ready, and the gifts are ready. Hope you enjoyed this New Year gift from our side. It took me a long time to plan this. Hope you liked it. Watch this video again every week and do not forget to follow the tip of every week given in the video. Also share with us your beautiful pregnancy experiences and do not forget to share this video with your pregnancy friends. Till then, keep watching Maitri and I will see you soon.